The last step in the design process is to present the final solution. What you're going to see here is many different ways that Inventor can make this job both easy and also really cool. The first one example here is going to be kind of a traditional way of laying it on sheets of paper. Obviously you can fully dimension drawings, you can do assemblies, parts, pretty much anything that you would want to show in terms of actually trying to manufacture or just print this off to show what some ideas are you could do in the paper environment. Another really awesome thing that Inventor allows you to do is create what we call an exploded view. Here you can see that we've actually taken all the different parts that are on the vehicle and actually pulled them apart so you can more easily identify everything that made this up. And then just as easily you can actually animate this with pretty much 2 clicks here, and you can see then everything kind of comes back together. You can turn off visibilities, you can even rotate this around and actually look at different components as they come in. You're able to give lots of different motion to things and really make an actually cool presentation of how something might actually be assembled. Another series of things that you can do is actually just in the assembly environment itself. Once you're in this environment, there's lots of different kind of simple things you can do. Obviously, if you actually have certain parts unconstrained, you can actually just quite simply pull on the parts themselves and actually see the motion. You can see here I kind of redesigned the rear seat so it actually have the ability to fold down, and then also made a small flap in the back so I could fold down and kind of increase your trunk space when you're only driving by yourself. The other thing that you can do as you want to pull these around here and take a look at them is you can actually look at the different components and see the motion, kind of like we did before, but you'll see how easy it is to kind of check to see if things are going to interfere with parts, see how it's going to kind of function and operate. Lots of different capabilities that Inventor has there, and that's just all with simply clicking on things and basically pulling on them. So that's kind of the easiest way to kind of check around and see the model. The other thing that is amazing is that Inventor can actually do quite a bit more than that. You can set up certain constraints to actually drive. For example, here I can show you how you can actually make one of the constraints that you put in actually have some motion. So if we look here, we can see that our wheels are actually spinning here. And you could drive motion, actually make this vehicle, say, drive down a road or do all sorts of things with that. Another representation that I set up here was the ability to actually show how the steering is functional on this vehicle. In the design, we talked about actually creating this vehicle so that it had a few different actually functioning parts. And what you can see here is an example of the rack and pinion steering system that I created. And what I did here was actually use a design view to show a different alternative look at this vehicle with the body hidden so you could see some kind of interior parts. Now this is an extremely simple kind of example of a rack and pinion, but I did want to show how you can use this again to actually drive motion. So we can drive some of the constraints that we've created. And, oh, sorry, I've got to turn these off first. And now you can see we're able to drive this constraint. So you can see how something actually functions. And if you look in there, you can actually see every part actually, kind of functioning correctly. Just to give you a different angle. And finally, one of the last really cool things you can do is actually create different rendered images. And what we've got here basically is just a slideshow showing some different renders. You can see you can put in different reflective ground planes. You can put pictures in the background to make this thing looks like it's actually sitting there. Lots of different things you can do with the render, but it definitely gives it kind of a more photorealistic look. And again, this is a very simple process, including even doing things that make it kind of look hand-drawn. This was my version of an electric vehicle. I hope this is something that kind of gets you excited about this project, and I can't wait to see some of the examples that you students turn out.